The first intimation we had of it was a very nice young man, I learned later, called Neil McCulloch, who arrived here and to impart the news that this was going to be built. Well, you can imagine, I mean, I was appalled. To me, this was going to be desecration of the most beautiful area on the periphery of Edinburgh. However, we were then invited down to Flotterstone Inn for various discussions, and they showed us charts and plans and so on, and I got to know some of the staff. And I must say at this point that Scottish Water and Black & Veatch have to be congratulated on their choice of staff, because they have been so helpful. They listened to all our complaints down at Flotterstone Inn, and they acted on and allayed our fears. They have been so good, each and every one of them. I could give you a list of names, but I won't bother at the moment. They know who they are.
The first time we went to see the big hole, and now to see it completely, you know, the hole's now filled with the building and everything, and that's quite good.
I found it a lot more interesting to see it and go inside it. It helps you a lot more, because if people just bring in pictures, you don't get to know as much, and you don't get to do stuff, and it's not as fun.
I liked how they put the grass roof down, and I found it amazing how big it was going to be. I think it was the size of 2 football pitches or something, so it was quite big. And liked how many people were there. It was amazing, it was over 200 or something, so it was quite amazing for that as well.
We're very fortunate in that it happened just now for us, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I can't think of many other schools who have the chance to even go and visit one, far less see it being built. Long term, I'm realising that they have got a greater understanding now of where the water comes from, the process it has to go through, the fact that they have to take into account other habitats round about that maybe are being disturbed, and therefore you have to put something back to make sure they're protected. And if I link that with, for example, the work that the Primary 7s have done, they made the bee and butterfly meadow up at the back of the field up here. And that was again taking account of the fact that they were very conscious that bees and butterflies are having less and less habitat. So, you know, we're taking it on into the school, and I'm sure that that kind of message will stay with these children long term.
At the reservoir end of the site there was a Roman fortlet which we identified at an early stage. The other major sites that we found was a World War II camp in the Edinburgh area at Mount Hooley Lone, and that was I think it was built in about 1940. Black & Veatch, the main contractors, and Scottish Water and ourselves and ERM, the environmental consultants, put together an open day at the military camp, and we had 177 visitors, I think, many of whom actually remembered the camp being there and had, you know, memories of the soldiers being there, and their grandparents going up to deliver milk to the soldiers and things like this. So it was very interesting. We met quite a lot of people who actually knew a bit about the camp that we didn't, and just a lot of the general public came along, you know, from 2 years old to I think about 80 or 90. We had them visiting the site, and it's really nice to see people, you know, connected with their communities and interested in the history of their areas. So it was a very positive experience, and, you know, it was, I think for everybody involved in it, it was very, very good.
We were finding that after particularly bad rains, the water may be slightly discoloured and peaty by nature. And obviously we had feedback from the guests that the water wasn't clear. So we would reassure them with Scottish Water's assistance that through a letter that the water was indeed, perfectly potable and healthy. It was just slightly discoloured because of the filtration system. We're sort of the custodians of quality in tourism, and the image of Scotland, often first and last impressions, are gained in hotels. It's critical that the water supply is seen as as you would expect, a crystal clear product and tasting good. So we're delighted, obviously, that element of satisfaction, guest satisfaction, has been resolved. I'm sure the water is as hygienic and tasty as ever, but the fact that it's crystal clear now will make a big difference in terms of quality perception from the tourists.